What's up guys, it's Topsy and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing one of the characters from my custom SpeedDuel set, Duel of Fortune Cup, a custom set based around the Fortune Cup arc from the Yu-Gi-Oh 5'Ds anime. Before we do begin, I did want to go and mention real quick that I did already make an entire video talking about everything you should know before going ahead and watching this series. It's not necessary, but it gives you a lot of context as to what decisions I ended up making for each of the characters for this set. So if you're interested in checking that out, it will be linked in the description below. Also, before we do begin, I did want to go ahead and mention real quick that these videos do take quite a bit of time to go ahead and produce, so I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe to show your support for the channel. But with all that being said, let's dive right in. Today we are working with Leo, and honestly I think that both Leo and Crow's deck, which is going to be the next episode, have to be some of my favorite decks that I ended up working with, just for the very fact that I am a huge fan of both the Morphtronic archetype and Blackwings. Really fun decks overall, and specifically Leo has, aesthetically speaking, one of my personal favorite archetypes. It's just so cool. I like them a lot. Like mini little transformer like appliances is such a cool concept, and especially with the deck I think it has a really cool concept as well, being able to have the Morphtronic monster have different effects based on their battle position. So I tried playing around with that idea. That being said, let's dive right in. Okay then, so first skill up for Leo we have is In-Synch, and it reads: all Morphtronic monsters you control gain 200 attack and defense for each Morphtronic monster you control. Once per turn during your main phase you can activate one of the following skills. Skill number 1, target one Morphtronic monster you control and change its battle position. And skill number 2, target one attack position Morphtronic monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. Apply the following effects to each monster. Switch defense position the first target, then change the battle position of the second target. Okay, so let's break down the skill. As you can see, on the first part of this effect, the ability to change the battle position of a Morphtronic monster you control is really important, just for the very fact that every single Morphtronic monster has two separate effects that activate based on whether or not they are in attack or defense position. And I like the fact that you have the flexibility of being able to choose what position they're able to go ahead and be active on whenever you summon them out. So I think that's a really helpful ability for this deck. Additionally, the second effect is similar to that of Sol and Luna, for the very fact that you are actively changing the battle position of two different monsters on the field, but one is very dependent on the other. And I think that's a really fun way of going ahead and doing this for Leo. For the most part, I feel like this feels really good for Leo, because I wanted the deck to mainly focus on Morphtronic monsters as opposed to Power Tool Dragon. But give me your thoughts. As for the second skill, here we have Equipment Restock, and it reads: once per turn during your main phase, you can activate one of the following effects. Effect number 1, shuffle one equip spell from your graveyard into the deck. Effect number 2, shuffle 3 Morphtronic cards from your graveyard into the deck, then draw one card. And as you can see, this other skill right here is a little more catered towards the Power Tool Dragon, being able to continuously recycle all your equip spells from the graveyard, so you can always kind of ensure that you're going to be able to get a search off Power Tool Dragon. Additionally, I like the fact that this skill also gives the Morphtronic deck longevity to itself by being able to recycle its resources from the graveyard. So I like this quite a bit. Okay, so now that we're done with the skills, let's move on to the tuners. First up is Morphtronic Lantron. This is just a level 1 tuner monster for the strategy, and it's going to be pretty useful for the very fact that the deck is going to be primarily composed of level 3s, level 4s, and a level 6. And for the most part, Morphtronic Lantron's effects aren't that relevant. The first effect kind of just prevents you from taking any burn damage, which is very niche. And the second effect is kind of cool, but I don't really think that you want to have this guy on the field for it to be destroyed. But nevertheless, cool little card. After that, we have Morphtronic Remoten. As I mentioned already, a lot of the deck is going to be composed of level 3s and level 4s. So having access to this guy is going to be really important as a pretty viable level 3 tuner. And this card actually has two really pretty decent effects. The first effect allowing you to search out for a Morphtronic monster with the same level as one you banished from the graveyard, and additionally having the ability to go ahead and discard a Morphtronic monster while it's in defense mode to search out for another one of the same level from your deck is also very useful, but it's a bit harder to pull off because it needs to be in defense mode. And with the added benefit of the skill, this makes this card that much better. And finally, the last tuner for the deck is Morphtronic Scopen. This guy is going to be the heart and soul of the deck. This is going to be the most useful tuner your whole strategy has access to, and it's for one very simple effect. While in attack position, this card can special summon a level 4 Morphtronic monster from the hand. Essentially, he is a 1-card Power Tool Dragon, which is awesome. Another thing that I really like about Scopen is the fact that it has a very niche second effect while in defense mode, where it does change itself to a level 4, meaning that you have a lot more viable plays where it has a lot of flexibility with this card. Incredible card, super useful, and I love it in this deck. Alright, on to the non-tuners now. First one up we have is Gadget Hauler. I almost cut this card from the deck just for the very fact that it's a little bit difficult to go ahead and utilize it with the other Morphtronic monsters because it is a level 6 monster. But for the most part, this card is a card that Leo ended up using in the anime, I believe against both Greiger and Yusei if I'm not mistaken, and I like it. It's a fun little level 6 that gives you another reason to play Lantern, so it's a cool card. Next up we have Morphtronic Boomboxen, another monster he used in the anime in a level 4. I like this card a lot because a lot of the Morphtronic monsters that I ended up choosing from the deck, not only are they cards that Leo actively played in the anime, but additionally they kind of play into this like Morphtronic beatdown strategy. Boomboxen specifically giving you the ability to attack twice during the battle phase, which is going to be super useful. And another cool thing about Boomboxen is the fact that in defense mode it does give you battle protection once, which is kind of cool, so that's a neat little effect. Next up we have Morphtronic Radion, another great monster for Morphtronic beatdown, for the very fact that while in attack mode it gains 800 attack per Morphtronic monster you control, meaning that this boy can get beefy, and that's awesome. Next up we have Morphtronic Staplen, and this guy's only okay. Its attack position effect is really niche and kind of a weird one, don't really love it, but the defense position effect is kind of neat, give you the ability to keep him from being destroyed by battle, which is really nice and really annoying for your opponent to deal with, but additionally if your opponent attacked it, you're able to change the battle position of an opponent's monster, so that's really useful. Last up for the level 4s we have Morphtronic Videon, another great card for the Morphtronic beatdown strategy, for the very fact that it gains 800 attack per equipped card equipped it onto him, meaning that you've equipped this guy with something like United We Stand, Mage Power, etc. Oh boy, he's gonna get beefy. Onto the level 3s and we have Morphtronic Magnen. I almost added a second copy of this guy into the deck to be able to fulfill the ability to do the magnet lock. Essentially what that means is that while you control 2 defense position magnets, your opponent's just not able to attack anything on your field because they have to attack those targets. But I just needed to add more cards to the strategy, I just did not have the room for a second copy, so hope you can understand. Onto the level 2s now, we have Morphtronic Cameran, and this guy's a little cool. He's not fantastic by any stretch of the imagination, but he is a way to go ahead and get access to your Morphtronic monsters from the deck to your hand, because when he's destroyed while in attack mode, you can just special summon another one from the deck, which is really useful, especially if you want to set up your single place later on. And last up for the Morphtronics, we have Morphtronic Celfon. This guy's awesome. I love the art of this guy. He's one of Leo's main little ace monsters, and just an overall incredible Morphtronic, giving you the ability to go ahead and special summon a level 4 lower Morphtronic monster amongst card you excavate based on a die roll. And this is a really cool card. I like it a lot, and I think it just fits the deck really well. Okay, now that we're done with the monsters, on to the spells. Starting off with Double Tool C&D, and this card is awesome. One of my personal favorite cards to come out of the Morphtronic archetype. This card is a really powerful quick spell that works on both Power Tool Dragon and level 4 or higher machine Morphtronic monsters, which is a little bit annoying to work with, but it's okay. Essentially what this card does, it has 2 separate effects based on whose turn it is. During your turn, your Morphtronic monster or Power Tool gains 1000 attack points, and also if it attacks an effect monster, its effects are negated, which is really important. But during your opponent's turn, instead of gaining 1000 attack points, it instead gains the ability of your opponent not being able to target anything else during the battle phase, and additionally, if a monster battles that card, it is destroyed at the end of the damage step, making him a really annoying target on the field. This is a really cool card, I like it a lot, and it's really fitting for the archetype. After that, we have Morphtronic Cord. This is going to be the main form of backward removal for the deck, and it's another Morphtronic card, so this had to be here. Next up, we have Morphtronic Repair Unit, another equipped spell, and this time around, this is the deck's version of Premature Burial, but not as good. This card just fits the deck really well. Last equipped spell for the strategy is a United We Stand, and I already alluded to this earlier, but this is a beatdown strategy, so we need cards that are really useful for beatdown, so this had to be added in. Okay, now that we're done with all the equipped spells, on to the rest of the spell cards. Next up is the Gadget Box, a continuous spell card, and the primary reason we have this card in the deck is because this is going to be our bread and butter way of making Gadget Hauler actually work in the strategy, because this card gives you the ability of once per turn summoning out a Gadget Box token, and with those tokens you're going to be able to go ahead and tribute summon for the summon of Gadget Hauler, making him not as cumbersome to make. And besides that, this card that Leo also used in the anime, so it had to be here. And last up, we have Morphtronic Map, the Morphtronic field spell, and this card is incredible, and it's gonna make a lot of sense why one of the CLs was phrased the way that it was. Essentially, this card says that each time the battle position of a Morphtronic monster is changed, you place a counter on this card, and all Morphtronic monsters gain 300 attack per counter on this card. Additionally, when this card is destroyed, you can special summon a Morphtronic monster from the graveyard. So this card has a lot of utility. Not only does it give your Morphtronic monsters the ability to get a lot bigger, but additionally A, it gives you the ability to later on special summon another Morphtronic monster from the graveyard if this card gets dealt with. So I like the fact that this equip spell plays into the gimmick. I like the fact that it gives you a lot of versatility, and it's a really cool card overall. Moving away from the spells, we now have the trap, starting off with Morphtronic Transition. And this card is a very simple trap card that just prevents a Morphtronic monster you control from being destroyed. After that, we have Morphtronic Mix-up. This card's really cool, and it's one of the more interesting forms of like removal. Essentially, this card states that if you control 2 or more Morphtronic monsters, you can select 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy one of them that your opponent chooses. So this is like a really weird way of giving your opponent like an ultimatum of what to destroy. Really cool card. Last card up is Morphtronic Forcefield, and this is just a really powerful counter trap card that specifically protects Morphtronic monsters from destruction. Essentially, if your opponent were to destroy a Morphtronic monster you control via spell or trap or card effect, you can then negate the activation, prevent your Morphtronic monster from being destroyed, and add a Morphtronic card from your deck to your hand as well, which is a really weird bonus, but hey, we'll take it. So really cool card. And last up, we have the extra deck, and the only card there is going to be Power Tool Dragon. I love this card. It's such a cool looking card, and I'm so glad that they retconned for him being part of the Signer Dragons as well. Really awesome. But yeah, that was Leo's deck. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below. I think I cooked on this one, but you let me know. Of course, as usual, everything's going to be linked in the description below. The deck list, the skills listed out for you guys so you can easily get access to them. And if you want to use any of the pictures that I used for any of the skills thus far, then you can find all the high resolution images on both my Twitter and on my Discord, so you can find all that in the description below. Next time we're going to be doing Crow, and then after that we're going to be doing all the miscellaneous cards, so I'm really excited for that. But with all that being said, guys, thanks so much for sticking around to the end. I do ask that if you did end up enjoying today's video and would like to support the channel, to please leave a like and subscribe. It goes a long way in helping the channel grow and giving us traction to get more people's eyes on this channel. But if you'd like to take your support a step further, then you can always become a channel member. For only 99 cents, you get a badge next to your name, custom Topsy emojis, and a shout out at the end of the videos. On that note, huge shout out to our current channel members, those being PushX to Start, Zedric, and finally Sekigano. Huge shout out to all of you guys, and thank you for the continued support on the channel. I can't express just how much I appreciate it from you all. Thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.